All right, so you've heard the buzz, right? Generative AI. It sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie. But here's the thing, we're not talking about the future. We're talking about right now. This tech is already moving out of the lab, and believe it or not, it's starting to pop up in your everyday life. I mean, it's easy to get lost in all the big abstract ideas about AI. But have you ever stopped to think, okay, but how could this actually make my day-to-day life easier? What's in it for us? Well, that's exactly what we're going to get into. So let's just demystify this whole thing for a second. The best way to think about generative AI, it's not some super complex robot overlord. Nope. Just think of it as a really, really clever tool. Its whole job is to create new stuff. We're talking text, plans, ideas, all to help you get things done. All right, let's make this real. Let's start with the morning. You know how it is, right? The alarm goes off and it can be, well, a bit of a chaotic scramble. This is where AI can step in and act like your own personal assistant, a true efficiency expert. Just imagine this for a second. Before you've even poured your first cup of coffee, an AI has already sifted through your inbox, pulled out the important emails, organized your schedule, and even pointed out a double booking. It's all about clearing that mental clutter before it even starts, so you can actually focus on your day. And it gets even cooler. It's not just about single tasks. It can connect the dots. So you could just say, hey, plan some healthy meals for today. And boom, from that one little prompt, it doesn't just give you a meal plan. It generates the shopping list you need, and then, get this, it adds go to the grocery store right onto your to-do list. It just figures it out for you. Talk about a time saver. And of course, this goes way beyond just meal planning. Think about all those little things that just chip away at your day. Handling the same type of email over and over, the back and forth of scheduling, trying to keep your budget straight, setting a million reminders. AI can take all of that off your plate. And when it does, it frees up your headspace for the stuff that really matters, the bigger, more creative thinking. Okay, so we've conquered the morning chaos. Now let's fast forward a bit into the day. This is where AI starts to wear a different hat. It's not just an assistant anymore. It becomes more like a personal curator, tailoring your world just for you and, get this, even helping you learn new things. Think about how we used to experience the internet. It was kind of a one-size-fits-all deal, right? Just a fire hose of generic information. Well, now, generative AI is changing that. It acts like this amazing filter. Suddenly, your news feed, your shopping suggestions, even your workout plan, it's all hyper-personalized. It just cuts through all the noise and gives you what you actually need right when you need it. But this idea of personalization, it's not just about content feeds. It gets way more powerful. This very same technology can become your own personal tutor. I mean, it's like having this incredibly patient, super knowledgeable expert on call, 24/7, ready to teach you literally anything you want to learn. Seriously, just picture it. You could be practicing real conversations to learn a new language. You could be getting instant feedback on a tricky piece of code you're writing. You could even do mock job interviews over and over to build up your confidence. It's this perfect, safe space to just practice and get better with no judgment, on your own time. And this whole personalization thing has another really important side to it, accessibility. AI can help build tools that adapt information for people with all sorts of different needs. It's about breaking down barriers and making sure the digital world is truly open and inclusive for everyone. All right, the workday's over. You're finally winding down. But maybe you've got that personal project, that hobby you're passionate about. Well, this is where AI shifts gears once again. It's no longer just an assistant or a tutor. Now it becomes your creative partner. You know that feeling, right? That creative block? You're just stuck, staring at a blank page or a blank canvas or an empty document, and you have no idea where to even start. That first step is always the hardest, isn't it? Well, this is exactly where your AI creative partner comes in to save the day. It can be your brainstorming buddy, throwing out ideas for a new project. It can help you find just the right words for that really tricky email you have to write. It could even whip up some custom art or music just to get your own creative juices flowing. The key here is that it's a collaborator. It's there to help. And this is a really crucial point. It's not about the AI doing the creative work for you, not at all. It's about giving you a launch pad. It's about getting you over that initial hump, turning that scary, intimidating blank page into a playground of possibilities. So we've gone through a whole day with generative AI, right? From boosting our morning productivity all the way to sparking our evening creativity. So now let's kind of zoom out and talk about the big picture, and maybe tackle one of the biggest questions that's on everyone's mind. And here it is, the big one. Is AI a threat to human creativity? I mean, it's a totally fair question. You see an AI creating incredible art or writing compelling text, and it's only natural to wonder, well, where do I fit in? But everything we've talked about today points to a different answer. It's not about replacement, it's about enhancement. Think of it this way. When the camera was invented, it didn't replace painters, it created a whole new art form, photography. In the same way, AI is a new tool that can enhance our abilities and expand what we're even capable of creating. And really, that's the ultimate goal here. The whole idea is to let AI handle all the boring, repetitive stuff, the chores, so that it frees us up to focus on what makes us, well, us, the uniquely human things like strategy and empathy and big picture creativity. So, I want to leave you with this final thought to chew on. As these amazing tools get woven more and more into our lives, the most exciting question isn't really what can AI do? The real question is, what will you do? With all this extra time, with all this new creative freedom, what problems are you going to solve? What are you going to build? What masterpiece will you create? Because the possibilities, they're just getting started. Thanks for watching.